may close strong, but this is the moment traders get caught chasing noise instead of structure. Hello traders, I'm Owen Larson with Mission Winners and welcome to Market Edge ahead of the trade. This week we're wrapping up a strong May for equities. What stood out this week is how many groups are showing signs of tightening up. Several sectors, including software, cloud, and even silver and steel, are shaping constructive bases with potential breakout levels approaching.
I always have weekly charts on the left and daily charts on the right for organization stake. Why? You can see bigger themes on the weekly than you can on a daily. First one here is Direxion Energy Bull. You can see the name right there, okay? And there's the ticker symbol. What's the trend? The trend is down on the weekly. The trend is down on the daily. And until it gives back above the 50-day, you just got to kind of leave it alone and wait. There's better places to go. We organize things at Mission Winners so that we optimize our time. Let's move on. Dow Jones Internet. Now this one's basing nicely on the weekly and also on the daily. You can see this shelf right here. So what do you do with this information? I'll draw this just to help you. What do we do with this information? Maybe punch up FDN and see what the top holdings are. But it does tell us something else. Internet. Overall internet stocks are acting fine. There we go. It's an area to look into to potentially find opportunity again to make money. Let's move on. IBD 50 is trending nicely. That's good to see. That's a good proxy. The IBD 50 list working fine, trending up here. Okay. There's not a great buy spot right now, but it tells us something. The IBD 50 is acting fine, and that's good to know. Now, here's why I look at weekly. There is some overhead supply on the weekly chart, as you can see. Again, weekly on the left, daily on the right. Continue onwards. Gold miners, look at that base. Isn't that nice? Pushes through there. That could be a potential buy. GDX, something to watch going forward. GLD is a little bit sloppier. Do a compare and contrast. GDX, nice base. GLD runs up, drops. Runs up, drops. It's a little choppier. So what does it tell us? Gold miners look like a better opportunity at this point in time than gold stocks. There we go. Continue onward. Hacks, cybersecurity is basing here nicely. It's formed a big cup, a V-shaped cup on the weekly, but you can see it started to lift up. Now, here's one slight negative, and these are the things we teach in Mission Winners. Fell on fairly heavy volume on Thursday. Needs to start lifting up here with volume, taking out these tops there. Till it does, be a little cautious. Continue onwards. Biotechnology doesn't look too bad on the daily, but tons of overhead supply on the weekly. Look at all that here. So it tells us be a little cautious with biotechnology. Continue onwards. Online retail kind of formed a cup and a handle right here, and I'll draw this to help you. And this is a good lesson. Don't think that it's got to be a perfectly flat base for a cup and a handle. Slight downward sloping line, that's fine. And I'll show you something that helps. Here's the daily chart. And you can see this base right here. That high right here corresponds right in here. And I'll draw this just to show you. There you go. It's a cup with a handle. Take out that line with volume. Could be a potential buy. Let's continue onwards. I'll make that hair bigger. There we go. Moving on. And again, weekly on the left, daily on the right. Software technology, cup and a handle, V-shaped cup and a handle on the weekly. Nice rounding cup and a handle on the daily. What does that tell us? Hey, maybe look into some software technology stocks or technology software stocks. We'll flip that coin. Software. Look into some software stocks. How about that? There you go. Let's move on. Medicine. It looks all right, but man, there was some serious selling here on the weekly. Okay. Kind of a V-shaped bottom here. Got to be a little cautious with that. There is a formation right here, though. And I'll draw this to help. Let's do it this way. Take out these tops here with volume. It is a little loose, though, so be a little careful. What does it say? Be a little careful with medical stocks. There we go. Just say no to drugs. Anyway, you got to have a little fun here, too. Mid-cap stocks don't look too bad. You can see this cup and a handle, and I'll draw this to help you. What does it need to do? Take out these tops with volume. There's not a lot of accumulation here, by the way, okay? If you look at price and volume, there's not a lot of buying power. Just something to be aware of. At Mission Winners, we combine price and volume action to make better investing decisions. That's what we teach, too, all day, every day. Aerospace and defense is trending up nicely. Look at that. Had a base back here. There's the weekly base right there. And it's trending up nicely. Now, it's a little bit extended now, so be a little cautious if you're going to buy any aerospace defense stocks that are extended. There's no edge in chasing price. Buy close to the pivot or don't buy at all. That will help you. Let's move on. Home construction. There ain't no power there right now. I'd leave that alone. Okay, as you can see on both the weekly and the daily. You don't have to overthink it. S&P 500 growth. Doesn't look too bad here. Oh, by the way, do we own some growth stocks, big growth stocks? Yeah, it's been telling us to. It's been telling us to. The charts have. And we just get in line with it. IWM, nice long cup and a handle right here. It would be nice to see the small caps start to pick up. One slight negative, quite a bit of overhead on the weekly. So we need to take out these tops here, and we need to take them out decisively with good price action and good volume. There we go. Real estate, there's a base across here. All right, I'll draw this to help you. It's a little bit slower and ponderous. A lot of overhead supply in here too. Right here you can say, well, that doesn't look too bad. Look at all this over here on the weekly. There's a powerful template. I'll say it again, folks. Weekly charts on the left, daily charts on the right. It will really help you. Moving on, IYP, transportation's a little sloppier here. There is a base right here, and I'll draw this. Right there. A couple of the handle formation pushed through there. A lot of overhead supply, though. It's a little sloppier. What's one plus, though? You could say, boy, there was some volume that came into that stock right there. Yes, they were buying it. They did. So something to watch going forward. Transports. Do you see the common theme? There's some improvement in a lot of index ETFs, industry ETFs. That's good to note. Airlines, nice base there. You can see it. I've already drawn it. Jets, something to look forward. Take it off these tops. Could take off. I'm sorry I had to say it. Got to have a little fun too, okay? On a specific note, though, it needs to push through this line, and it needs to push through with volume. KBE, similar situation. Had a level right here, gapped up, and then they gave it right back, and there's some selling volume here. It's a little choppy. Be a little careful with the bank, okay? That's the KBE, bank stocks. By the way, here's a great tactic for all of you. You go, God, what does that thing own? You can punch up KBE and find out their top 10 holdings. Just go on Google and do it. It can help guide you on where there's strength. There we go. Insurance, it's kind of chopping around, nothing really great there, okay? KRE, regional banking, another bank ETF. You can see it's kind of going up, then it goes down, kind of sloppy and choppy on the weekly. This is a great investing foundation. Focus on stocks, ETFs that are within 20% of 52-week highs. You'll improve your investing results. I will just tell you that. I taught that at IBD meetups. It's a fact. It's not an opinion. Focus on strength. Strength begets strength. And we don't bottom fish either. Mid cap, I like the space that's formed here on the week daily. I'll draw this. There you go. This has formed a nice deep cup with a handle. I'm not saying buy this if it triggers, but I am saying you might want to look into some mid-cap stocks. There you go. Oil service. Do a compare and contrast. Well, that doesn't look too bad. I see this is near these highs on this base. Well, boy, this is way down there. Look at the weekly. What does it say? Stay away from oil service and energy service stocks. Done. Pharmaceuticals picking up a little bit, but a lot of overhead supply. Be a little cautious. QLD, NASDAQ 100. You can see this base right here. Takes out this top with volume. Would be a positive. Not just for the QLD ETF, but also for big NASDAQ stocks. Again, this is the NASDAQ 100, the big boys. Okay? That's powerful knowledge to know. QQQ, same situation. Retail's picked up. A little choppy, though. You can see, look at all the gaps. You get caught on the wrong side, and you know, it's like, oh, it's going now. Oh boy, that kind of stings. So be a little cautious with gappy stocks that have price gaps, both up and or down. Even right here, look at this. Oh, it's going up, it's going up. Oh, they take it down. Oh, it's going up, this is it. Ooh, they take it down. Just kind of watch out for that. Cloud computing, that's a nice space there, folks. SKYY, you can punch up SKYY and find out their top 10 holdings. Cloud computing, and we're involved with technology stocks. It was telling us to, not just this ETF, but technology in general. When we run our screens and Mission Winners, they come up. Silver, nice base there. There we go. Steel, nice base there. And I'll help you with this. There you go. It just needs to take out that line with volume. That's what we're looking for. One slight negative. This is why I love weekly and daily. Quite a bit of overhead supply on the weekly. So something to be aware of. Also, a little choppier in here. You see it starts to go. Runs up, closes near the highs, they take it down. Runs up, closes near the highs, they take it down. Runs up, closes near the top of a trend line, they take it down. So it just says there's some selling in there. We're about done here. Semiconductors, that doesn't look too bad on the weekly and the daily. Kind of a cup with a handle like that. Semiconductor, Direxion semiconductor, this one looks pretty good. This one's lagging a little bit. So what does it tell us? SMH could be a better candidate to buy. There we go. If it triggers. All right. Spiders. What do we see here, folks? Nice base, cup and a handle. Simple tops. Take these out with volume. Here's the daily. There's the weekly. Something to look into. And yes, it tells you, oh, there's some strength coming into the market. Yes. And what does that also tell us? Well, that's why we've been buying. The market's telling us to. The charts are telling us true. Same thing's true with SSO. Solar's a little sloppy here, okay? Look what it did. When you get a big gap down on volume like that, tells you, be cautious with solar. And then look at the weekly. What's the trend? It's in a downtrend. Leave that alone for now. It could change, but not right now. Small caps kind of lagging, be careful. Oils, U.S. oil, lagging here a little bit. I'd be cautious there, as you can see. Aerospace and defense, do a compare and contrast. Well, that's kind of sloppy and it's below the moving averages are falling and the 50 days falling. It's below a falling 50-day. That green line is the 50-day moving average, 50-day simple moving average. It's below the moving average. The air is better above a rising 50-day moving average line. The odds of making money increase when you are above a rising 50-day line. Not an opinion, a fact. Continue onwards. Aerospace and defense. Oh, it's above a rising 50-day. Oh, gee whiz. Look at the trend of the ADMA. Nice trend. There's no clean entry on it now, but it was telling us back here, hey, maybe look into some aerospace defense stocks. You could say, Pat, how could I do that? You could punch up XAR top 10 holdings, and that will guide you to potential opportunities in this ETF industry sector. It's a little extended now, so be cautious with it, okay? Biotechnology, kind of slopping around here a little bit. Needs to show some power, just for what it's worth. Home builders chopping around, needs to show some power. Materials has a nice base. Do a compare and contrast. Kind of choppy here, goes up, they take it down, right? Oh, you look at this one. Oh, that's a nice flat base. Take out these tops here. With volume, could be a potential buy. Or you could also look into XLB top 10 holdings and see if there's any opportunity with individual stocks that comprise that ETF. There we go. And again, you see what we do at Mission Winners. We systematize. This works. I've been doing it this way forever. It really helps us find strength, money, potential money, but also areas to stay away from. And I like that too. Save money. Communications doesn't look too bad. Energy's lagging. Compare and contrast. Well, that's kind of near these highs right up here, Pat. Right? And this is below the falling 50-day. Be cautious with energy. Isn't that great to know? That's powerful information. Continuer financials doesn't look too bad right here. Okay. Push through there, came back. There's another top here. It's forming a bigger cup and a handle. And I'll draw this just to show you what I'm talking about. There we go. What does it need to do? And again, this is XLF, financials. Take out this top and take it out with some volume, potential. But it's going to need, as I stated, good price action and good volume action. We'll watch and see. Industrials. You can see this big cup right here going across here. I'll draw this to help you. Simple tops. And here's the daily forming a little handle right here. Notice something very interesting. Went up on heavy volume, reversed down on less volume. Went up on a pickup in volume, went up on a pickup in volume. A little bit of accumulation occurring there. Needs to take out these tops with good price action and good volume action. We're about done here. XLK, that's a nice base there, folks. Look at that. Go across these tops. Something to look into. What does it tell us? Technology doesn't look like a bad place. Yeah, we own some technology stocks. There's strength in it. It guides us to buy some. There we go. And we buy it. And we buy leaders. Consumer staples, picking up here a little bit. Doesn't look too bad. But a lot of tail bars. I'll show you what I mean. It runs up and fades. It runs up and fades. It runs up and fades. And it does it here and here. It tells us, this is important, a lack of investor conviction to stay with it. It starts to go, and the sellers are quick to come in. Okay, be aware of that. We need to see some strength here, continued strength. Until then, if you buy, go smaller. We control risk, let me tell you. Utilities kind of grinding on up, a little choppier. Healthcare, look at that. In literally a couple of seconds, it says, gosh, it looks like I better be kind of careful with healthcare. Looks pretty rough on the daily, looks pretty rough on the weekly. Be cautious with healthcare at this point in time. There you go. That's powerful information to know. Consumer discretionary doesn't look too bad. Look at that base on the weekly and on the daily. There you go. And you could say, well, individual stocks, yeah. Or if this triggers with good price action and good volume action and a good market, hey, that can be a buy. That's why we do this. We don't do this to look at charts. We do this to be organized, increase our probabilities of finding stuff that's going to make us money. There we go. We've got a limited amount of money and a limited amount of time, two very important assets, and we try to use both wisely. Emission winners, we try to share it here. Metals and mining picking up, not a lot of clean entry right here. There was started, it came up, and then it starts to fade. And you can see there's overhead supply on the weekly. So just be a little cautious there. Oil, stay away. Done. Retail, a little bit of strength there. Software, yeah, there's a little bit of strength, form kind of a cup and a handle. You see right in here? I'll draw this to help you. Right across there. Big cup, handle. What does it need to do? Push across these tops. Since the software doesn't look too bad. There you go. By the way, do you see the volume on that bar? On the weekly? And it closed right near the highs? There, that's institutional buying, folks. Okay? So, something to watch. Software.
So, we're seeing the market trying to firm up, with constructive patterns forming, but many still sitting just below breakout levels. These are the moments that test discipline. It's easy to get excited too early and chase price before the chart confirms your setup. That's exactly what this week's tactical playbook is all about, recognizing false breakouts and knowing how to navigate volatility without getting shaken out. As May wrapped up, the equity markets closed strong, but beneath the surface, many setups still showed signs of indecision. From semiconductors to small caps, a common theme emerged: choppy ranges and false starts. This is where disciplined traders separate themselves, not by jumping early, but by waiting for confirmation. One example of a stock that gave us a clean move this week was Palantir. It triggered on our key list at 127.90 and closed Friday at 131.78. That's a solid one-day move, but more importantly, it was earned, not guessed. The setup was clean, the breakout aligned with a rising 21 EMA and rising 50 SMA, and the volume came in right when it needed to. That's what we want, confirmation backed by structure. Compare that to the semiconductor ETF, SMH, which was also on Friday's key list with a trigger at 249.30. SMH is still range-bound and choppy, but it's respecting the 21 EMA and 50 SMA. It hasn't triggered yet, but it's building a base. This is where discipline kicks in. Watch, wait, and act only when the setup confirms. That's the kind of tactical structure we reinforce every day at Mission Winners. Stick to clean charts with rising moving averages. Avoid chasing early strength inside volatile ranges. Wait for the pullback and hold. Use moving averages and anchored support levels as decision zones, not guarantees. And never, under any circumstances, average down or force a trade. The key list is built for this. It filters the noise and puts real structure on your screen. If you miss the Palantir move, that's okay. Another opportunity is already forming. The key is to stay patient and let the setups come to you. Let price and structure be your filter. Let your rules, not your emotions, decide what happens next. Now that we've covered the tactical side of trading, the next question is, where's the leadership starting to show up? That brings us to the max list. If there's going to be a sustained move in this market, we're likely to see it take shape right here in the institutional favorites. Let's turn it over to Pat for the latest look at these key names.
So let's look at some stocks. Here's Apple. And again, weekly on the left, daily on the right. And you can say, well, it's in a pretty hard downtrend here on the weekly, and it is on the daily too. Until it starts to push above the 50-day with really heavy volume, I'd be cautious with Apple. There's better places to put your money. Something to consider, we have a limited amount of money and a limited amount of time. We want to use both assets wisely with what we're looking at. Continue onwards. Amazon is forming a bigger cup and a handle on the daily, and you can see it on the weekly. It starts to go up. Look at this. It runs up and reverses down. Oh, this is it. It's going, and then it reverses down again. That tells us, and I'll make this a little bigger for you so you can see what I'm talking about. You can see these chart bars, right? These bar charts right here. You can see what I'm talking about. Until it really starts to lift off with volume, be careful. This is also another very important analytical tool we use. We combine price action of the price bars combined with volume action. Hold on one second. My apologies. So that's where Amazon is. Needs to take out these tops here with volume. Until it does, be a little cautious with it. AMZN, Direxion, same situation. Alibaba is in a downtrend. You can see it on the daily. Leave it alone. BIDU is in a downtrend. You can see it in the daily. You can see it on the weekly. That's an ugly tail bar there, folks, on heavy volume. See where it opened? Gaps up, runs up, reverses down on heavy selling volume. Stay away from it for right now. And that's good to know. You don't have to think of it. You don't have to ponder it. Move on to better opportunities. Goldman Sachs. Now, this one has a nice base right here, as you can see. Here's the daily. There's the weekly. It's a cup with a handle. I already have price alerts set. Notice this. I don't have the price alert set at the line. I have it set a little early so that if it goes off, I can watch the price and volume action to make a better decision as far as, do I want to buy this or not? It's not a harried or a frantic decision. It's letting the chart tell us what to do. And I love that. Goldman Sachs. Google kind of has a cup with a handle up here or a cup formation, but you can see it's kind of whippy here. See that? Look, oh, look, it's lifting, and reverses and closes near the lows. Oh, it's starting to go here and it closes near the lows. It's a little choppier right now. Be a little cautious with that. It really needs to take out these tops with volume. But so far, there's better fish to fry, but that can change in a day or two. Something to watch, MAXLIST stock. Now look at MasterCard. That's a nice base across here. You see this is kind of a cup with a high handle. What else catches your eyes? At Mission Winners, we combine price action with volume action. And if you noticed, look at the volume that came into this. That's powerful, folks. That's institutional buying. Take out these tops. I already have a price alert set. Take out these tops. could be a potential buy. There we go. In a good market. Let's continue onwards. Meta. Meta's forming a nice base across here. And I'll show you something here that will help. Bear with me. That's close enough. Right across here. It's a cup with a handle. And what catches our eyes? Admission winners again. We look, and I taught this at IBD meetups for years. We combine both price action with volume action to make better investing decisions and be safer too. What did it do on Friday? Well, it gapped down, it fell, and closed near the highs on a pickup in volume. Okay, good. This doesn't look too bad on a daily, and it doesn't look too bad on a weekly, but it needs to push up through these tops here and through that line, and it needs to do it with good volume and a good market. I want you all to consider this. Mission winners. The first letter is an M. What does it stand for? The markets. That comes first, the markets, and that helps us. Makes us money and keeps us safe too. And we don't argue with. Microsoft's got a little shelf right here, and there was good volume that came into it. I'll make that a hair bigger so you can see this better. And you can see right there. Take out these tops, could follow through. What does it need? Here are the constraints for everybody. Good price action, backed by good volume action, and good market action. The market's acting okay. There we go. And those constraints must be met. Continue onwards. Netflix, we own Netflix down lower, here and here. Watch this. Look at that base right there. Nice, long, simple base, and then another one right there. And it's owned, and trends pay. And it's working for us. I mean, our first buy on this was down here around, we'll call it $1,000. Okay? That's 200 points, folks. 200 points, the easy way. Admission winners, that's what we do. They all don't do this. Okay, I don't want to convey that message. But when they do, we ride the trend. Anyway, and yes, we're in it. There we go. And members are. NVDA, simple basis here and here, MAXLIST stock, and it's working. Now here's another important point. Put earnings dates here. You see that date? They had earnings 5/28. What was that telling us? Don't go crazy just before earnings, folks. Err to the side of caution. You don't ever want any serious problems. Reversed, pulls back. We've locked some profits in. We're in good shape. Now, what would I like it to do? Well, you can see these tops here on the weekly. I'll draw this to help you. Clean tops there. What does it need to do? Well, that coincides with this. It's a little loose here. The moral of the story is at this point in time, be a little careful buying NVIDIA right here. Let it settle down. When the charts are loose like this, whipping around, that indicates high investor emotions. And as I state frequently in our videos, high investor emotions and sound decision-making are mutually exclusive, okay? We want calm charts, calm decision-making. It helps us a lot. You see right here when it's just basing, it's just a nice calm chart. It's just going sideways. Everybody saw it, and it led to a good advance. There we go. Continue onwards. NVDA, same situation. This is the leveraged one, lower price that you can participate. Looks a little like NVIDIA, so we'll leave it at that. Now here's Tesla. Nice long base here, and it lifted off with good volume. Good volume coming into it. See that? Rallies up. What did we do up in here? We sold some into strength. Didn't sell it all, but we sold some. We're in good shape. I would love this to base up here, form a small handle or base, and then take off again. And guess what? If it does, it could be a new buy or an add-on buy. There we go. And there's TSLA, same situation. And then we rounded out with Visa. What do you see with Visa? Well, I see a little base right here, but then you look at the weekly and say, there's a cup with kind of a high handle right here that's forming. And you can really see it on the daily. And when you combine price and volume action in your analysis, you can say, well, it went up, it fell on some volume, but now I see it starting to pick up again. And oh boy, there was some pretty good volume on Friday. Look at that. Maybe if it starts to push through these tops, that could be a buy. And you can't catch me in a lie. I already got the price alert set, folks. You see it? Got it set. And what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to drop it down just a little bit. It's not a stop, it's an alert. If it starts to lift through these tops with really heavy volume, we may buy some there. We'll be ready. But we're already ready. I'm making this video on Saturday morning. So there we go.
That wraps up today's episode. Huge thanks to Pat Walker for another deep dive and to all of you for tuning in. If you found this helpful, make sure to subscribe to Mission Winners on YouTube, check out missionwinners.com, and stay sharp out there. Master your strategy, trust the process, and maintain your edge.
I am here in the middle of nowhere. There is no there, it is cold there, but I am safe.